Welcome to Top 5 Rudest Countries. Americans. Yes, the United States is number 5. I know a lot of people from other countries probably just gasp. How could they be number 5? Shouldn't they be number 1? No, we're really not that rude when you're coming here to be a tourist. I mean, if you end up in the wrong place, like New Jersey, you'll probably think differently of us. But for the most part in most of the country, people are pretty decent in the tourist areas, not just New Jersey. You might want to add Hawaii onto that. Hawaii's not too keen even about other Americans coming to that state. 5:30 now. If you consider gun violence rude, yeah, we're hella rude then. Cause we got a lot of that here in the United States, in case you don't know and you're from another country. That's like my advice to anyone coming to the United States from another country. Make sure you know where the dangerous neighborhoods are. I mean, any neighborhood has the potential to be dangerous, but we have some that if you don't know about them, could be a serious mistake. So keep that in mind. You should know little things like, go see St. Louis, the arch is neat, and all that's really cool. Don't go see East St. Louis. Don't make that mistake. Go see downtown Detroit. Don't go outside of downtown Detroit, and you'll be fine. Go visit Chicago. Just don't go too far south from what they call the Loop, which is the downtown area of Chicago. Things like that. 51% of the people surveyed had the United States as one of their 3 countries with the rudest locals. Russians. Russia's another country that has people that I think sort of get a bad rap because it's their culture and the way they do things. It doesn't jive with a lot of, especially Western countries and their citizens. Russians are very to the point and very blunt about everything. There's no like gray areas with them most of the time, and they don't sugarcoat much when they're talking to you. So a lot of people might think that's rude. The people that I know that have visited Russia, they're kind of 50-50 on it. Some say it was great, some people say they were kind of rude and mean to them. So, you don't know. But, in the survey, 53% of the respondents had Russia as one of their top 3 countries. Number 3. Germans. Germans are rude and everybody knows it. They can't help it. They got a little that Russian thing going too, where there's no sugarcoating anything. It's very blunt, very to the point, very matter of fact. And like I said, in the Russian part, that Westerners find that a little abrasive sometimes. My experience with Germans has never been good. The ones that I know, the ones that I've talked to online, they're always seem to be rude. It's like their thing. I don't know what it is. One thing I've always heard over and over and I kind of got that vibe too. They always get that thing where they think they're better than everyone else. That's an opinion by a lot of people, not like a fact. There's no arrogance metric. Germany normal years sees about 40 million tourists, and 61% of the people surveyed had Germany as one of their 3 countries that they felt had the rudest locals. Number 2. The British. Now this is amazing because of all the people surveyed. The number 1 country of origin of people that said the British were the rudest were the British. Yeah, the UK says British are the absolute rudest people in other countries. It's like these people know how they are, and they just own it. I've always heard the phrase ugly Americans when they're talking about Americans going to other countries and being tourists, and how we're just rude and stupid and everything else like that. But apparently, the British are even worse than us. 63% of the people surveyed had the United Kingdom in their top 3 for rudest locals. Alright, on to number 1. And number 1, the French. The French have a legendary reputation for being rude. There have been jokes about how rude the French are since forever. Everybody knows it. It's in jokes. They do things about how rude the French are in movies. There was a movie with Dudley Moore years ago where he played ad executive who had like a breakdown and started telling the truth, and he created an ad that everyone loved. It showed an Italian woman cooking some pasta and said, "Come to Italy. We're nice, we're not like the French." And it showed a guy with a beret flipping the camera off. So, that kind of gives you an idea. Now don't take that as an opening because I made reference to a movie that shows how something's a stereotype. For some reason, whenever I mention a movie that's like someone's defense, oh, he's basing his opinion off a movie. No, that's called an antidote. My opinion is just like the rest of the world's opinion on the French. They're freaking rude. They got some good wine though. You gotta love their wine. In 2018, France saw 89 million tourists. Now, their target for 2020 was 100 million. But the pandemic kind of set that sideways. We'll see if they get their 100 million here in the next couple years. Now that we're getting out of the pandemic, 71% of the people surveyed had France in their top 3 countries.